What's up guys? My name is Richmond and I'm the OT Dude. Today, we will talk about pre-writing, or what are some things that we can do to prepare your child for handwriting. Handwriting is a very critical skill to be acquired. As we all know, writing is a tool for communicating. This is how we project our thoughts, our feelings, and our ideas. Now, majority of kids nowadays, their time in school is consumed by fine motor activities. And out of that, majority are paper and pencil tasks. Now, you see, handwriting is not just a motor skill. It's actually recalling a clear picture of that letter in our minds and performing a motor act or movement to produce or form that letter. Now, before we want our kids to form a certain letter, he or she needs to first recognize that letter. How does he do that? For example, the letters A and letter C. Letter A looks like a triangle. Letter C looks like a half circle. And I know that the one that looks like a triangle is named A, and the other one that looks like a half circle is named letter C. And I also know that the one that looks like a triangle, or letter A, sounds like A. And letter C, the sound of that is K. And in my mind, I know how to write letter A and letter C, just by imagining it. That's why handwriting is two parts. It's the perceptual part, seeing, knowing that letter and the sound of that letter, and able to write that letter in your mind, and the motor part, manipulating a pencil and forming that letter through the use of writing tools. So why is pre-writing important? First is for school readiness. Second is to help develop reading skills. Third is, it is important to establish first the motor part of handwriting so that this becomes automatic or second nature, so that the child can focus on other important aspects of handwriting, such as choosing the right letter for spelling, choosing the right words for sentence formation, and organizing the letters and words in his or her mind before writing it down. Fourth is, fine motor activities stimulate the prefrontal cortex of our brain. This is the part of the brain that helps with self-regulation and executive functions. Fifth is, it's important that the child has a positive experience when doing handwriting. This is to build self-esteem and self-efficacy. Let's discuss the developmental sequence of pre-writing. At 2 years old, he's able to imitate a vertical and horizontal line and a circle. At 3 years old, he's able to copy a vertical, horizontal line and a circle and imitates a cross. Now at 4, he's able to copy a cross, draw a square, diagonal lines, and the grasp of pencil in writing form. Now at 5, he's able to draw a triangle and the difference between a big and a small line and a curve. So it is important to note that many 3 to 4 year olds are not developmentally ready to hold a pencil or to use a pencil to create different strokes, to create different letters. So check first, maybe we're teaching them too early to form different letters and using a pencil. Maybe it's important to target first other pre-writing skills. So what are prerequisite skills? Or let's just say skills that we need before we jump into handwriting. First is upper extremity strength. The arms, the forearm, and even the hand. Second is bilateral integration. It's the use of both the left and right side of the body at the same time. Third is finger isolation. It's the ability to move each finger separately. Fourth is object manipulation. It's basically manipulating an object in hand. Fifth is eye-hand coordination. Sixth is crossing the midline. Seventh is visual perception. This is where right and left discrimination is, spatial awareness, visual memory, and even position in space. Up, down, at the side, over, under. Eighth is hand dominance. If you notice our child using one hand over the other, strengthen that hand. Ninth is hand separation. It's the ability to separate your hand into two, because these two are just going to be like this when you're writing, and you're going to use these three. 10th is pencil grasp. It's important to develop a mature pencil grasp that's comfortable for your child so that when he or she is writing, it's an ease. In today's set of activities, we will need a whiteboard, a marker, PlayDoh, popsicle sticks, beads or pegs, clothespins, pipe cleaners, pasta, tongs, pom-poms, bottle containers, ziploc, small cups, a ball, and blocks. What are activities that you can do to help develop pre-writing skills? Activity number 1 is do animal walks. Bear walk, seal walk, crab walk, and even donkey kicks. This is to build upper extremity strength and core strength. Activity number 2 is you can use a PlayDoh, popsicle sticks, and beads for letter or shape formation. So for PlayDoh, you use it to copy the lines, and this is a very good fine motor activity and bilateral integration activity. Next is the use of popsicle sticks. Again, it's like tracing, and it's a very good bilateral integration and again, fine motor and object manipulation activity. Next is use a whiteboard to create a line and then trace that line using the pegs or beads. You can also use coins, stones, or bingo chips and do it on a smooth surface. One hand is holding the board, the other one is getting beads to place. This is bilateral integration, at the same time, fine motor, or encourages tripod grasp. Activity number 3 is the use of a whiteboard or chalkboard. It's good for finger isolation and letter or shape formation. Activity number 4 is ball catching. Why is this important? It's good for eye-hand coordination. For activity number 5, you will need pipe cleaners, or a string or yarn is fine, and pasta. Ask your child to put the pasta through the pipe cleaners. This is very good for eye-hand coordination and also bilateral integration. For activity number 6, you will need a bottle. Better if there's a small opening or an opening enough for the objects to pass through. You can use pasta, stones, coins, bingo chips, or even keys or different sized beads. In this case, I'm using pasta and different sized beads. The important thing here is to do in-hand manipulation. You get the object using these 3 fingers, transfer it, and get a few more, and transfer it. This is called in-hand manipulation, from finger to palm. And then put it inside the bottle. So from palm to finger, using one hand. One hand should be picking up objects, the other hand should hold onto the bottle. This is also very good for hand separation. For activity number 7, you will need a ziploc and a few empty bottles with a cap. So ask your child to open the caps like that. This is good for bilateral integration, and you can also put different objects in it if you want to. Ask them to close. It's also good for hand strength. And then for the ziploc, ask him or her to put a few objects inside. Again, for fine motor and tripod grasp while one hand is holding. It's also called bilateral integration. And once he or she is able to put a few items in, ask him to seal the ziploc. One hand will be holding it, the other hand will try to feel and make sure that it's sealed properly. It's a very good bilateral integration activity. For activity number 8, you will need clothespins and popsicle sticks, or you can put a string overhead for him or her to reach above. Ask him or her to clip the clothespin onto the popsicle sticks. This is also to encourage bilateral integration again, and also the tripod grasp. For activity number 9, you will need blocks, Legos, Mega Blocks, anything is fine. So in this case, we're gonna use wooden blocks. Try to make something and ask him or her to copy that. For example, ask him or her to copy it. You can increase the level of difficulty by adding more blocks or by showing him first, then covering the piece that he has to copy to challenge visual memory. Or you can make it a little bit easier by only giving him the blocks that he will need. So for in this case, I will be using this, and a red one. So I will only be giving him or her these three and remove the others. For activity number 10, you can use pom-poms or just crumpled paper. The more important thing here is the use of tongs or maybe chopsticks. This is to encourage, again, bilateral integration. One hand will be holding the tongs, the other hand will either be holding the container or the other small containers. And ask the child to pick one and put. So the smaller the container, it will be more challenging. The bigger the hole or the mouth opening of container, it will be easier for him or her to put the pom-pom in. That's it, guys. So if you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Thank you. Have a good day.